who are new here, Raised Vibes is all about raising your vibrations, aligning yourself with your purpose, attracting abundance into your life. We do this through various techniques, such as affirmations, meditations, and of course, the power of singing bowls. James has been a dedicated member in our community for quite some time now. I remember noticing him to actively start participating in the last September. Back then, things were a bit challenging for him and his business, but look at him now. Since then, he's had incredible success story after success story. Especially in the past few months, he's manifested 35,000. That's absolutely amazing. Let's dive into his journey and how he's achieved such incredible results. Today's, I'm absolutely thrilled to have James here with us. And I'm really happy that you were able to join this call. And for the first time, we've actually met face to face, right? So even
Yeah.
though I've seen you popping up in TikTok, in school, we've never really seen each other. So that's a win for us, I guess.
Yeah,
And
it's cool. I feel like it's like you've gotten to know each other a little bit just through just the interactions and not the face. So it's like you get to know the person more, and I think that's kind of cool.
yeah, it is. And you are able to be a little bit more open, I feel like, when you don't have that judgment of people judging you of what you're saying and things like that. So can you tell us a bit about your life before starting out with affirmations? Before the sleep affirmations, before being, maybe before even being in the Raised Vibes community.
Yeah, so I've always kind of been an achiever. I've been driven. I'm goal oriented and driven, and I've had successes here and there, and but there's always just been something that's just kind of been missing, and I couldn't figure out what it was. I'm like, maybe I need to work harder. Maybe I need to, it's like I just couldn't put my finger on it, honestly. And last year, the last third of 2023 was a dumpster fire, just personally, like with just so much horrible stuff going on. And I was like, what am I going to do? And I was in a real funk because it was just like, just compound negative, 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 negative stuff just over and over. And it was terrible. And I was like, what am I going to do? There's got to be something that I can do to shift things. And I'd been a member of Raised Vibes, like as a follower on TikTok for a while. And I had, listened to your affirmations, and it didn't resonate at the initially.
Yeah.
And then when it was just like at the end of last year, I think it was like November. And I was just like, man, this year has just been taxing. And it was just like, I listened to your affirmations, and I was just like, and the vibe, and you were doing things a little more consistently. And I kept attending, and just like, I felt better. Like every time, just raising my vibrations, my thoughts, and just being like and I was like, man, there's something to being more positive. And it's like the whole mindset. And I've always been about mindset, about discipline, and about, getting the work done and just doing what needs to be done. But the positivity is where I think things weren't uh I kept hearing, and it was you, but it was also there were other outside influencers, or I guess you can say, in a way, I feel like the universe kind of sends you messages when you need to hear them, and whether it's through one person, through it's just like everything you see, like everything you start reading. And it was just like, you what you think of and what you focus becomes your reality. And I was like, well, let me look at how I just kept dwelling on all the bad stuff that had happened and all the bad stuff. I was like, I had to put my dog down. And well, she's 19, by the way. I got 19 years with a hound dog, which hounds don't live past normally 14 or 15. So I feel like I got
19.
four,
Wow.
yeah, 4 bonus years with her. She was a great dog. I love her to death, and I still think about her. But it's like that. My dad was in
Yeah.
and out of the hospital. I get the business deals like fell through
Yeah.
beyond my control, and it was just like like stuff with the house. Our neighbor dropped a tree on one of our retaining walls, and
Oh
then
man.
like it was just like thing after thing after thing, and it was like I just kept dwelling on it, and it was like but what's funny about that is like the more I thought about it, it seemed like the more that happened. It wasn't, and when I started to shift my mindset to all right, I can't control what's happening to me, but I can control what I think about and what I think
Yeah.
about those things. And it was like that shift, and it was like outside messages. It's like focus on what you can control and focus, like shift your focus to I lost my train of thought.
Yeah.
Like shift your just shifting your mindset, and like what you focus on becomes your reality. And
Yeah.
okay, I if there's something to this, then I really need to do it. And then like I just kept listening to your lives, and I
And
just kept I
what?
was like like other people, like there was another person on TikTok that talks about releasing
Hmm.
negative
Yeah.
energy, and we would do like breathing exercises, and it was like when you breathe out, let go, just picture all the negativity leaving. And then I forget who it was, but there was a day where I was just watching something like this, and it said you have to let go of the negativity to make room
For the
for new
positivities to come
positive
in.
things to happen.
Yeah.
It's just like, man, and it was like when I heard that, I was like, that's so true. And it just kind of clicked. And then we started doing the affirmations thing, and we like while we're sleeping, and it was like reprogramming your subconscious.
Yeah.
And I've read a few books like Becoming Supernatural. Oh gosh, there was one where there was a guy, his name is Joseph something. I can't think of his name. I read this book like last year, but it was talking about he taught all of his kids all these like tricks with your subconscious
Yeah.
to and like building your subconscious like superpowers basically. And it's all almost like ESP, in a sense. And it was just really crazy. And I was like, okay, I know there's something to the subconscious. So let me give this a shot. And so you had the 30-day challenge. And I was like, you know
Yeah.
what? I'm up for a challenge. So if I put my mind to it, I'll go after this challenge. So I was like, I'm gonna do this for 30 days. Let's see where
Let's see where it
it
goes, kind of.
let's see where it goes. What I've been doing before hasn't been working.
Hmm.
I've paddled and worked as hard as I possibly could.
Yeah.
Let's do this and see about reprogramming.
What desires or goals did you have before like starting this, the affirmations when you were going through all this negativity, negative thoughts? What kind of goals did you have the same goals kind of?
My goal at that point was just to get out of that funk. I think it
Hmm.
was just like so heavy, and I was just like, I'm very unhappy, and I've got to make a change because this cannot continue. I don't want this to continue. Like if this keeps going, I'm gonna break down,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's just like too much, too many things already. And so that my goal at that time was just like I need to head in the right direction. I have the knowledge to do the things I want to do and to build my business to where I
Mhm.
want it to go. But I have to change. There's something I have to change in order
Yeah.
to make that click. And I mean, this seems to be what it's been. I mean, if you look at the last few months, they've been
Yeah. Amazing.
crazy, crazy.
And what desires or goals did you have before like starting this, the affirmations when you were going through all this Negativity, negative thoughts. What kind of goals did you have the same goals kind of?
My goal at that point was just to get out of that funk. I think it
Hmm.
was just like so heavy, and I was just like, I'm very unhappy, and I've got to make a change because this cannot continue. I don't want this to continue. Like if this keeps going, I'm gonna break down.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's just like too much, too many things already. And so that my goal at that time was just like I need to head in the right direction. I have the knowledge to do the things I want to do and to build my business to where I
Mhm.
want it to go. But I have to change. There's something I have to change in order
Yeah.
to make that click. And I mean, this seems to be what it's been. I mean, if you look at the last few months, they've been
Yeah. Amazing.
crazy, crazy.
Did you have some experience with manifestations or affirmations before this? Um, any knowledge about it before joining the Raised Vibes community? You must have heard about it and things like that, but
There were, so I'd seen a lot of videos and a lot of content. I read a few things about like 369 manifestations and writing those down and doing that and that whole thing. And I just couldn't, as busy as my day is, I just couldn't like kind of stick with it. And it was just
mm,
like, and I feel like that didn't work for me because that was like trying to program my conscious, and it's like I it needs to go deeper than that. And
yeah,
so uh that was my extent with the manifestations. And I knew, like, I mean, I know that there are even like CIA documents, and I was looking at those about like how you can manifest your own reality and that whole thing. And I just thought that was crazy. But I was like, how? There's got to be more to it than
yeah.
that. So
How did you discover the Raised Vibes community or TikTok? Um, how did you discover? What was your first kind of
so
interaction?
I was listening to you back
Mm.
when you had sunglasses and like this like Assassin's Creed shroud on or
Yeah,
something. And I enjoyed it then, but just my mind, it just wasn't the right time, I think. And I don't think you had the community then.
yeah. I
And
don't think I was
then
doing affirmations either yet
I
with the singing bowls, or I might have. I might have
I
started.
remember you doing, I remember you had some videos where it was just like stuck like video or something
Yeah,
and you were talking over it.
yeah,
And that was fine. And I followed you initially for that, but then like I didn't see you for a few months. I guess you took a break. I'm not sure
yeah.
what was going on, but then you came back and then you were doing the singing bowls, and then you were starting to build this community. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then it just kind of followed naturally from there.
Were you ever skeptical of affirmations or manifestations? Um,
I was skeptical because I'm a very scientific person. And but the more I dig into things with my scientific mind, the more I realize that it's not every bit of science is like has to make if that makes sense. It's not like we don't know everything. There's a
yeah,
lot that's been hidden from us through the media and religion and control and just different things like that. Because it takes away their power. So it puts the power in our hands, and so they don't. I don't think they want us to know, and so I was always kind of skeptical. Well, that's not scientific. You can't prove that. Well, look at my life. You know how it 180'd. You tell me, you look at my bank account. My bank account says otherwise.
getting into like the practice of it, can you describe your typical affirmations practice using my content? How do you actually use it?
So you send those daily affirmations through the community every day. And I listen to those and like I'll be sitting there with my coffee in the morning and I'll listen to those. The timing is kind of I think sometimes you post them a little later in the day. So I think it's like the day before I'm listening to that one.
Yeah,
But still it's fine. It doesn't really matter either way. But I listen to those and it's like I'm happy to, I'm open to receiving. I'm open to, more abundance. I'm great. I show gratitude for my abundance and welcome even more,
yeah,
just and those different kind of affirmations. And it's like, yes, it just kind of gets me into that mind frame of, hey, remember, look at all the good stuff that's happened already, and we're just going to approach today, to get things done, and just think good things are going to happen. It kind of just gets me. It's like I just kind of expect it. I don't like. I'm not looking for it, but I'm like, the day's going to be good. My
yeah,
mind's in that mindset already. Today's going to be good. Even if it isn't, the past few weeks and couple of months or whatever have been crazy good. So be grateful for that. Not every day can be perfect,
yeah.
and
So
that's what
that's
I
how you
do morning.
start out your day, and then you also use the sleep affirmations. I know you've been doing the 21-day challenges with me and some of our community members. Uh, we all started on the first one. We're on our third one now, and we're gonna have our fourth one. How kind of consistent have you been with them? And if you could just talk about the sleep affirmations and how you've been using those.
Sure. So every night before I go to bed, or as I'm going to bed, I'll start setting it up. I put my earbuds in, and I go to the app, and you've got the affirmations there. I probably could just download it. I don't know why, but I go to the app anyway, and I play it through the app.
I
But
do too.
so I play it through the app, and it's like 8 hours. I don't have to worry about it. There's no ads or anything. It's just straight through affirmations. I put the volume to where I can barely like just hear it, so that it doesn't like the sound doesn't keep me awake, but I
Yeah,
can still hear it, and I know my subconscious will pick it up.
yeah,
And then I put my earbuds in, and I get comfortable, and I go to sleep. And it's actually with the sound bowls in the background, it's really relaxing, and the voice is really soothing. And then and I kind of just it actually helps me clear my mind too, because I'm one of those people that my when I lay down and try to go to sleep, my mind like activates and starts thinking about everything from the day. And when I'm focusing on this and I start repeating those,
yeah.
like it's like 5 minutes and I'm done.
Yeah,
And that's
those singing bowls help you go to right to sleep as well, right?
Oh yeah, they do. And it just kind of just calms you and relaxes you. And during our lives, well, since I've been so busy with all the new work I've been getting, I've kind of been burning the candle at both ends a little bit. So I've been falling asleep in the middle of our lives, and then I'm like, oh man, and I wake up and I'm like, okay, well, I gotta put this and put my affirmations on and everything, and then I just get up and go to sleep. So go to bed. So I just think it's kind of funny, but
Yeah.
they're really relaxing.
Do you combine sleep affirmations with any other manifestation techniques, or are you just using the affirmations?
I'm just using the app, and then I'll just kind of repeat along with them, in my head, just so I don't wake other people up. And it just kind of I just kind of just drift off, and then it just um, does its thing while I'm sleeping.
Can you share some examples of what you've manifested so far of what you've achieved, what opportunities you've seen in your life open up since you've been using them?
Oh my gosh. Where do I begin? Well, the biggest one was a really large project. It was about 30K.
Yeah.
And I had to let that go in the middle of last year because the person I was working with, they just the person she worked the next person she worked with after me had the same experience, and that company ended up firing her.
Mm.
And it was not only just the money, but it was that really impacted my confidence a lot because that was a large project, and I've done large projects before, not quite that large, but when that fell apart, I'm the first person to second guess myself. I'm like, could I have done that any better? Could I have handled that or managed that any better? Do people do executives at that level operate in a different way that I need to tune the way I work to better suit? I went through the gamut of all
Yeah.
that when that happened. And so then after the sleep affirmations and everything, it was just kind of funny. I got a phone call, and the guy's like, "Yeah, don't hang up." And I was like, "That's never a good way to start a phone call, by the way." And we just both kind of laughed, and he said, "I'm with," and the business. I'm not going to mention the business name, of
Yeah, yeah.
course, but he was like, "I'm with," and he paused, and he could tell I had to take a deep breath because of the experience I had with that person. And he goes, "I know that you had a bad experience with um this woman,
Yeah, yeah.
and but she's gone now. We fired her. I went back through the emails between you two, and we looked at the work you did, and the website's still not done, and we looked at what you have on our servers, what you were building, and my team and I were looking around at each other like, why don't we just finish that? It looks great." And I was like, well, that sounds good. And so and he's like, by the way, I looked at the emails. He's like, you handled that situation better than I would. He goes, and so he was like, she did the same thing to the next person she worked
Wow.
with. We had to let her go. And he goes, I don't know how you handled that with so gracefully. And so I was just like, so it wasn't me. And it just, I needed that.
Yeah.
And then of course, along with the money coming back, of a 30K project, I get to finish the project, I get to recoup that money. It's incredible. I've signed several like 4 and 5 $1,000 websites in the last few months.
Wow.
I mean, like another web designer has a government contract right now, and he literally sent me a $5,000 and a $4,000 website client. He's like, I can't do these right now. I need somebody I can trust to pass this over. And
Wow.
I was just like, okay, I'll do it. And I've just been knocking it out of the park. But it was just like that just fell in my lap, and my taxes this year, I thought for sure I was going to have to pay. And when my CPA first looked at it, he told me I was going to have to pay like a couple of thousand. And I was like, oh man, I was like, that stinks. Cause I was like, I'm starting to build up like money and getting a good bank again. It's like, I got to pay a
Mhm.
couple of thousand. Come on,
Yeah.
but I was like, that's still not too bad. I thought it was going to be worse. Then he called me, like I was talking to him. I said, "So what did you?" He said, "You're actually going to get a small refund of 3709." And I thought, from just the way he said it, he meant $37.09 because that's a small refund.
Yeah.
But and then I met with him yesterday, and we sat down, and he goes, here's your refund. And he's like, I was like, what are you talking about? I thought, what, $3,709? He was like, yeah, you're getting 30. He's like, it's a little refund. I was like, a little? That's $3,709 is a lot of money to me. Considering the year I had last year, I'm grateful this. I was completely blown away. I was like,
Wow.
first I thought I was going to have to pay. I was happy I was going to break even almost. And then it was like, no, guess what? Here's $3,709. I can literally pay off like 2 or 3 small credit cards with that, which I'm going to do when I get that the 1st of May. Then uh, a client I already have who is a big health insurance company. She wants me to port over a website. And so we didn't get to talk about this in the chat that much last night, but we talked to,
Yeah.
so I'm porting over a website. It's going to be like a small $1,000 project, but she literally told me, she goes, we're going to be building websites for all of our agents, and I want you managing all of them. And I'm just like, I mean, she has like 50 agents. I mean, and so that I'm just kind of blown away because I know that's just, I know that that's going to be money, for
Yeah,
my
coming in.
business down the way.
So you've had opportunity after opportunity come into your life. How
Crazy.
crazy opportunities, and something that you didn't see just like half a year ago, right?
Right. I've never had it like this.
Like
This is,
this.
I
Let's
mean, I was
go.
just like,
Let's go.
yeah, it's like,
Love
holy
it.
cow.
I love to hear that, Jay. How has your life changed after experiencing these kind of results?
Well, it's just before the little things would get to me, and then like a big thing every now and then, it just would weigh on me so much. But now that I'm like, okay, it's, I have this mindset now of when something happens, even with the taxes thing, when I was going to have to pay a couple of $1,000, or I thought I was like, you know what, it could be worse, and everything will work out and it's
Yeah.
fine. And it's just like a completely different attitude. Before, I would have been angry, and I would have, dwelled on that, and I'm just like, let it go. I'm like, it could be worse. What, I got work to do. I've got opportunities coming. I need to focus on that. But it's
Yeah.
like whole mindset and focus has shifted to like the positive things that are in front of me. And it's just like, I can't, even if, even if I wanted to be mad about paying taxes, what am I going to do about it? I got to pay them,
Yeah.
and how does that help me to get mad or upset about it? I have to pay it, and it's like, I can't control that. Let the stuff that I can't control, just let that go.
Yeah.
Just set it aside, acknowledge it, and say, well, there it is. There's nothing I could do about it. There's nothing I could have done better. Hey, I've got all this work coming in. I've got all these opportunities. Things are really good right now. So,
Yeah.
I need to focus on that.
Did you encounter any challenges or setbacks along the way now while listening to the affirmations? Uh, and if you did, any setbacks or anything like that, how did you overcome them?
Like
I
what?
mean, you've had a really good run. I don't know if you
Yeah,
had
it's
any
been,
setbacks
it's,
lately.
yeah, it's like, I don't think so. No. The only setbacks I've had are like the affirmations pausing in the middle of the night. And I figured out what one reason why is because I'm a side sleeper, and
Yeah.
you can press the earbuds and it will pause and I think that's what's happening is I roll over on my side, and it presses the thing on the earbuds and pauses them in the middle of the night. I think that's what's happening. But there are actually, I'm ordering these sleep buds that are a slimmer profile that go in your ear, and I'll be able to sleep. It specifically says you can sleep on your side with these
Oh,
in.
really? Nice. So, how did the sleep affirmations and the raised vibes community, um, as a whole, how has that impacted your overall mindset and approach to life? You've mentioned like you're a lot less focused on the negative, always trying to focus on the positive, on the opportunities.
Well, the community and the lives, it's just like a like-minded gathering, and we all just kind of support each other and just kind of boost each other up, and it's just it's like just we're all like-minded, so it's just kind of like we know, and we can kind of let our guard down, and we can kind of just be in it, and
Yeah.
we don't without any kind of fear of judgment or anything like that.
Would you recommend sleep affirmations or affirmations to others?
Yes. Yes, give it a shot and give it like a wholehearted like commitment. 30 days, don't break, just do it. Commit 100% for 30 days. And by the end of those 30 days, you're going to look back and you're going to be like, where's this been all my life? I'm serious.
Right. Do you have any specific affirmation that you like, enjoy, and why?
Um, I just kind of like them all. I like it when you just kind of keep it random, and just because it does, I don't just focus, I don't get that tunnel vision. It makes me think of the abundance and being grateful for the things that have happened, and I'm open to receiving even, new things happening, and things to be even better. And so it just the different just varying those affirmations, I think, just kind of keeps it new and fresh, and just reminds me that there's tons of positivity out there.
Do you have any advice for people who are just starting out, maybe with sleep affirmations, or manifestations in general?
The inspired action is important as well. Manifestations, you can't just sit inactively and just want oh, I want it to be better. You like if you take those affirmations and, like, let's say you want a new car. Well, chances are, 9 times out of 10, a new car is not just going to drop out of the atmosphere. But if you are thinking about a side hustle, or you have another way to make a little extra money or something, if you work towards that, and you can, it's almost like showing the universe that you want it bad enough to where you're willing to put some effort into it. That inspired action, like I did, a bunch of stuff with my business because I was in that inspired action, and it just kind of just blew up. And along with those affirmations and with the mindset, and it just kind of all works together in a big grouping. So you have to just let your self judgment go. You've just got to forget about other people's judgment, and just jump 100% into it, and just do the affirmations. Try to keep your mindset in a positive. If you feel yourself start to slip, everybody gets in a funk, everybody has a bad day, but don't stay there, don't live there, and just remember, look at all the good stuff that's happened to you and happened for you, and just try to focus on what you can control, which is how you react, and trying to take a positive or an inspired action toward what it is you are trying to manifest, and combine that with those affirmations. And gosh, I mean, just look at my bank account. I mean, I could
Mm.
I could open my QuickBooks and you'd be like, nice.
Right. You had amazing results. I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for your business that it's growing. And uh, I guess what would you tell your past self about manifestations, like you 5 years ago, 3 years ago, a year ago, I guess?
Um, well, I didn't really know much about it then. Um, TikTok, TikTok has been really great about, like, just finding out this kind of stuff and just sharing ideas and things. I would tell my former self, hey, your mindset, it's not just about being successful. You have to have that positivity with it, and genuine positivity that
Yeah.
You have to have that. And that is the missing key to your success. On top of, you can dig and chisel away as hard as you can. But if your mindset's not right, it's just, yeah, you could still probably find success, but you'll be blessed beyond anything you even asked for or imagined.
Yeah.
It just happens now. I'm blown away. I'm really blown away.
Thank you for sharing your incredible story today. It's truly inspiring for everyone who's probably listening, and your dedication and amazing results that you've achieved are just incredible, right? Is
Absolutely. And thank you for creating this. Thank you for creating the community. Thank you for hosting the lives. I just thank you for creating the TikTok account that I originally followed back in the day and taking that time and doing the affirmations and doing it just even back then. I mean, look at what that has grown to.
is there anything final, like a final piece of advice you would like to share with everyone watching, whoever sees this, I guess?
You're not alone. There are other people out there that share your same thought, your same wavelength. They want to live a good life. They absolutely want to see other people succeed. And I mean, I've not seen any of the people from our community face to face,
Yeah.
but I get really excited when somebody one member Paige who 60K in student loans are going bye bye for her. I mean, that's
Right.
incredible. I mean, that's what, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like excited for. I've never seen this woman in face to face in my whole life, but
Right.
I'm genuinely excited because I know that student loans are crippling for people, and just 60K to just be gone. I
Yeah.
mean, that's excellent. So I just you're not alone. There are people out there that want to see you win and want to support you. The world's not all out to get you. It's actually everything's happening for you, not
For
to.
you. Yeah, that's great advice, James. Thank you again for joining us today. One thing that stuck with me while listening, watching your dedication through TikTok, through school, is you wanting continuous growth, it seems like. And there's always room for growth. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't I've never been somebody that has thought, okay, well, I'm here. I'm done. There's always some way to improve, some way to do things better, some way to do something more optimal, an easier way that is just simpler, more streamlined. There's always something to learn. I've never been one to think I know everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And would you be interested in like advanced techniques, diving deeper into specific manifestation areas in your life?
Sure,
Yeah. We could schedule a quick call, like to discuss some ideas if you'd like.
sure. That would be
Yeah.
great.
I'm so excited to meet you face to face, as well as I'm doing workshops now. So hopefully, I don't know if everyone, but we're going to see a lot more people from our community, like face to face. I think that's going to be um, really good for us.
I do too. We've all kind of gotten to know each other a little bit
Yeah.
through the community and through TikTok and the lives and things like that. So, it's like we kind of already are familiar with each other, and I think it's just going to just compound and just explode in a good way. Huh?
Yeah. And the wins that everyone has around, it feels like they uplift all of us. Like, Jules from New Jersey, she just got a promotion. I don't know why, but I was really excited about that. And some of these wins that people have, like $100 or $300, it doesn't matter. It's those wins, they're collecting, they're like a snowball effect. And it's just really amazing to see where we've come as a community, right?
Yeah, and just I mean, look at all the great things that are happening for people.
Yeah,
And it's a place to go for support too, you know. And it's like it's nice to have somebody to celebrate the wins with too.
yeah, for
And it's
sure.
there's no jealousy, there's no competition. Everybody's just happy for each other.
Yeah. Well, thank you, James. Thank you for everything. And thank you for the interview. And I'll see you on the live probably tonight. Not see you, but see you in the chat.
You know I'll be there.
Yep, for sure. All right, man.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a good one.
Yeah, you have a great rest of your day.